Greetings, fellow Slayers. Excuse me. Welcome to Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 4. Now continues on with New Moon Rising. Willow and Tara talk about Tara getting a cat as a pet. At the Scuba Gang meeting, Buffy explains that there is little going on, but as usual, Giles knows that means trouble. When Anya comments, in her usual too-direct way, on what a waste of time the meeting was, Giles takes issue with her side remarks and an argument begins to brew, only for everyone to be shocked and silenced when Oz appears in the doorway. Oz arranges to talk with Will later, and after Oz leaves, Tara makes Cassius go too, clearly in distress. That night, at the cemetery, Buffy and Riley mobilize the demon and call for the initiative to catch it. He asks about the uncomfortable situation earlier, and Buffy tells him how bad Willow and Oz's breakup really was, mentioning that Oz is a werewolf. Surprised, Riley says that Willow seems smarter than to date a dangerous guy, and Buffy explains defensively that love isn't irrational and calls him a bigot. Riley assures Buffy isn't talking about her, but she cuts him, changing the subject. Meanwhile, Oz takes Willow for a walk outside during a full moon, showing her that he doesn't transform despite it. Went to bed, with the help of herbs, charms, chanting, meditation, he's learned to control the wolf inside. Oz wants to get back together with Willow, but she's reluctant. Grandmother patrols with a team when they are all attacked by a four-legged demon, close resembling a werewolf. Willow and Oz talk all night about their lives while they are apart. Tara comes by while Willow is away, and upon having Oz answer the door, she gets nervous and leaves. Buffy wakes up at Riley's, but she's very distant from him. They talk about the night before in the graveyard and Riley's reaction to Oz. The Riley leaves after hearing news about Graham getting hurt. Willow shocks Buffy with the news about Oz being able to control the wolf. Buffy's even more shocked as Willow suddenly explains that her relationship with Tara is now serious and that complicates things with Oz. Adam goes to Spike for his help in exchange for getting the chip out of Spike's head. Willow tells Tara that she and Oz only talked the night before, and then they hug. Oz and Tara have a confrontation after smelling Willow and Tara. Oz clues that the two are romantically involved. He loses control and starts to change into a werewolf. Werewolf Oz chases Tara to a classroom, and the Riley and the Initiative commandos take Oz away. The gang meets up and makes a plan to free Oz. Oz is kept caged in the Initiative, and just as Riley is about to shoot him dead, he changes back into his human form. Despite Riley's attempts to help, the scientists start performing tests on Oz. Spike shows up at Giles' place and offers to lead Buffy and the gang into the Initiative. Riley sneaks in, gives Oz some clothes, and tries to help him escape. On the way out, they get caught. Colonel McNamara lectures Riley about betraying the Initiative on so many levels how he will be court-martialed. Just as Command is a scientist, Spike and the gang sneak into the Initiative through a back door. Adam secretly helps them by running operations through a computer and helping them shut down the power for most of the city. Holding the Colonel hostage, Buffy gets Riley and Oz free, Riley leaving the Initiative for good. Now his life is in danger, Riley comes out in the now derelict Sunnydale High School with Buffy at his side. He confesses that he was wrong about Oz, and that Buffy volunteers to tell him about her past, in hopes that it won't destroy their relationship. In Oz's van, Willow and Oz say their sad goodbyes, and Oz leaves town again to escape the Initiative and Willow, who unintentionally is the cause of him turning into a werewolf. Willow goes to Tara's, bringing her a candle. Tara tells Willow that she should be with the person she loves, and Willow replies that she is. Tara blows out the candle. Aww. So let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. Buffy explains to Riley about Willow and Oz's sudden breakup and his departure in Wild at Heart. Oz mentions his time to bed, which will tell the Scoobies about in more detail in Retreat Part 2. Will and Tara discuss getting a cat together, and Tara suggests the name Miss Kitty Fantastico. The cat will first appear in the next episode, The Yoko Factor. Willow finally reveals to someone, namely Buffy, that she's dating Tara. She'll tell Xander and Giles in The Yoko Factor. Spike joins up with Adam, and Lance will endure until Adam's impending defeat in Primeval. Riley leaves the Initiative but will return to military service and into the woods. This is the only time Oz and Tara meet, although they do share a scene together in Willow's dream and Restless. So let's take a look at a production note. Brian Noxon states in the audio commentaries of the episode Wild at Heart that she sees the Willow Oz triangle episodes Faces, Wild at Heart, and New Moon Rising. And now let's take a look at some pop culture references. Oz says that he traded a Radiohead record to a woman in Tibet. Oz looks at the poster of Ben's String Cheese incident on the poster board at the college. In exchange between Spike and Adam, they reference the Boy Scouts. Buffy says she'll put a William Burroughs on your leader, referring to the actual shooting death of John Vollmer in 1951. And now finally, let's take a look at some goofs. When one of the soldiers is thrown against the trunk of a tree, it wobbles in a way that makes it obvious it is a prop and not a real tree. As Hope is being transitioned from Giles' apartment to the cemetery where Buffy and Riley are supposed to be on a walk/patrolling, Buffy can clearly be seen standing still on the right side of the screen. When Buffy and Riley wake up, the bed is lying crooked, but when they stand up, the bed is straight again. When Willow and Oz hug in the van towards the end of the episode, Willow leans forward, and the wireless transmitter becomes visible on her lower back. After Oz says, pretty much now in the van, and the shot shifts to Willow, after a few seconds, we can see Oz leaning in for a hug. When the shot switches to Oz the next second, he's leaning back again, leans in for a hug again after a few seconds. 56 minutes in, when the gang is sitting in Giles' living room, the poster lighting department are visible to the right of the screen. So overall, I think this is a pretty sad episode with everything with Willow and Oz saying goodbye to each other and stuff like that. But hey, it's for the best since, hey, Willow has someone new in her life, so yeah. So overall, I give New Moon Rising 4 vampire stakes out of 5. When I tune a bit, so wait till the next episode, The Yoko Factor. So, until then, here endeth the lesson.